gifting in the cost of living crisis, festive home styling trends, and how to offer a more inclusive shopping experience. That and more on today's episode.
Want to know what's next? For over 2 decades, we've led the world's most influential brands to create the right products at the right time for tomorrow's consumer. This is WGSN's Client Questions Answered.
Hello and welcome to the show where our experts from around the globe unpack your biggest challenges. This week, we're feeling a little bit festive and we've received some great questions about the holiday season. And with some major celebrations just around the corner, we thought it's the perfect time for a holiday special. I'm Bethan Ryder, Executive Editorial Director at WGSN, so let's get started. Our first question comes from a client asking, as we near the winter holidays, how are consumers approaching gift giving, especially with the cost of living crisis? So for this, let's hear from Andrea Bell, and she's our Vice President of Consumer Insights based over in LA. Over to you, Andrea.
A recent study by Cornell University found that doing things makes you happier than owning, and that's definitely a mantra for this holiday season. So brands that can create gifts out of services and experiences will win, and there's a real opportunity for all industries here, ranging from beauty to food and drink. So look to subscriptions. They offer a dose of dopamine, to customers every time they're delivered. Our second strategy is at a time when people are really cash-strapped, there is a real need to take care of others. Again, this compassion and empathy truly coming through. So for consumers who want to give but don't necessarily even have the means, we're even looking at new ways of buy now, pay now charity.
Amazing, thank you, Andrea. Our Insight team's latest report on navigating holiday gifting explores the key sentiments and solutions you'll need to prioritise this year. From handmade, one-of-a-kind gifts to a focus on charity. Our next question comes from a client asking, what are some of the key trends for holiday home styling this year? Oh, I'd love to hear about this. So let's pass over to Cassandra, our interiors analyst based in New York. Over to her now.
The upcoming holiday season is seeing a dichotomy in approaches for home decor. On the one hand, consumers look to create ultimate comfort. This looks like cozy touches from quilted stockings and tree skirts to velvet baubles, as well as a continued investment in nostalgic themes. From funky retro icons to idyllic vintage illustration styles, everything from tabletop to party-ready garlands are having roots in the past. On the other hand, consumers are exploring celebratory and whimsical themes, so palettes are candy-coated or icy, or they turn to jewel tones and metallic finishes for a furthered exploration of the dark glamour that we saw last season as well. Both directions create a multi-tiered value for consumers. They employ perennial design themes that can be carried over from multiple seasons, requiring less frequent purchases to update, and they provide an emotional value, driving necessary moments of joy and relaxation amidst a hectic year and holiday season.
Brilliant, thanks Cassandra. Check out our key trends report on nostalgic winter holidays for more styling directions, and you'll find that on our interiors platform. And personally, I'm loving the sound of the tropical infusion. Our final question for today comes from a client asking, how can retail brands help make the holiday shopping experience more inclusive? That's a great question. And for this, we're hearing from Deborah Mello, our Digital Asset Coordinator, and she's based in Sao Paulo, so over to her now.
There are multiple ways to make the holiday shopping experience more inclusive, and I'm highlighting 2 examples here. First, holiday shopping can be very stressful, and around 15 to 20% of the global population are on the neurodivergent spectrum. An effective strategy to improve the in-store experience for them is to limit sensory overload by introducing quiet hours. You can do that by dimming lights, lowering music, and reducing scents. Second, in the US, 41% of Gen Z identify as gender neutral, and in the UK, 62% of women and 33% of men believe that targeting a specific gender is old-fashioned. So while you're preparing for the holiday season, you can introduce new naming categories that appeal to people who shop across genders and think of alternative ways of merchandising a store, moving away from gender categorization.
Great stuff, thanks Deborah. That's it for this holiday special. If you have any questions or comments you'd like answered, please pop them in the comments box for our team. I'm Bethan Ryder, and we'll see you next time.